So I sketched a little about ecumenism because we had the same had there's a light and a dark aspect of it, and so because it had the same I had the same implied implication from syncretization, which is something that is foolhardy. So I mean, even the fool, you can be in praise of the folly, or you can recognize something as foolhardy, and there are two different things. One is genius, and the other one is, you know, lack of attention. Like lack of reflection, lack of attention, lack of something. But so this term auxiliary. Okay, so I told you that paternalism is like a archetype of the divine feminine. Patriarchy comes out of that, also almost like it's delivered successfully. That masculine half of the feminine archetype is masculinity. So why would you turn against the patriarchy if it does what was that's like the okay. But the term auxiliary does imply it's something I didn't notice that. Auxiliary doesn't sound like a like oppressive, like a demotion, like you're in a second class. The auxiliary class. So is it proto-Christian because of the heresies of the Rosicrucian, like not Rosicrucian. It was like heresies of a like the Illuminati Christian version Christianity. Their women were subservient roles, and they took auxiliary, similar to women not being allowed to become preachers, or not women not being allowed to do Bible study or vote and stuff like that. But do you ask them if change is what they want? Because they resoundingly show up against, suffrage movement and stuff. Do you know where this is going? I mean, Black women are being targeted for destruction. There's trying to set up an industry to sell baby parts that is focused on, more, the hood. But there seems to, it's like people are still hyper focalized on the distractions, like, oppression and Trump and things like that. It's like, how could you get distracted by those? I mean, you recognize that incidentally a good can arrive out of an evil. It doesn't mean that you're pro-evil. It's if you want to stifle a benefit that arrived incidentally out of something that's, good or evil or whatever, like you can be indicted. So that's why we try to elect someone who has no cognizance and is the furthest thing. Like, we have to get the furthest, like, most decrepit. It's like decrepitude to represent. It's like, okay, you don't get fooled in saying that, like, it's a good idea to send, those, like, LGBT military to off to a war. Okay. Caesar is one who would try to conquer by using this kind of tactic. But it wouldn't work in the United States, because after we send our affirmative care, softer, kinder, gentler army full of therapists and sociologists and conflict resolution people off to get killed, like, America is still surrounded by water, 2 allies, and it's fully armed. So it's not going to work the same way it would work crossing